Hello everyone, Justin here. I'm coming at you from not my house. This is a grandiose library. I feel like King Justin sat in this seat, but it's a very nice spot. So what I want to do today is talk you through. I've been having some mentoring and coaching calls with individuals this past week, and it's been really eye-opening as to some of the questions that I've been getting. So I thought I'd put out this video today just to kind of walk through what I would do, me starting my business all those years ago, what I would do now to grow, scale, and improve my business. Just to kind of give me an idea, when I set up MCG Talent 14 years ago, a lot of the stuff I'm going to talk about now wasn't really available then. So for me, I had a slightly different mindset. So what I'm going to talk you through is what I've learned over the years, and to a degree what we're doing in our business now. I think very much applies to how you can scale a business or grow a business in the early stages. Now, I think now is the time of the boutique. Okay, I think now as a recruitment business owner, the really exciting part for you guys is that you can compete with the big guys, you can win contracts from the big guys, and you don't actually need to grow. You can grow to a 40, 50 person business and look for an exit, of course. That's never really been my modus operandi. I've always wanted to have a business that is, I suppose, 15 to 20 people that can use systems, processes, and tools to give as big a reach as possible and be as effective and as efficient as possible. Now, I didn't always think like that. I think like that now, and that's because I've probably had the bigger business before. I've learned what I like and what I don't like as a business owner, and actually for me, I prefer running a really powerful boutique that optimizes all the tools that it has, as opposed to sort of throwing bums on seats and growing in a very sort of traditional 360 recruiter fashion. I don't want a big business. I want to create a really powerful boutique that can compete. So what I would do if I was starting is I would, first of all, you've got to, like, when you start your business, no doubt you've come from another recruiter, no doubt you're an expert in your niche field. You've probably got an anchor client, or maybe some people that you can do business with, or that you need to target, or that have given you the nod that they'll be happy to work with you. So you'll have one or two anchor clients that you can start with. So you've got to really nurture them. Obviously, start off, the goal at the beginning is to get as much cash in the bank as possible. So you've got your niche, you go to market, you've hopefully got a client or two that you can target. You've got to try and get business as quickly as possible. And you're going to, look, reality is you're going to be out there, you're going to be pitching, and proving why someone should work with you. Your complete USP is that you are an expert in your field, you're passionate, anyone that works with you, they get you. That's your pitch at the beginning. Now, that's only going to work to a certain point, quite frankly, because soon you're going to get stretched, overrun, you're going to be operating in a 360 fashion, which I don't think is a sustainable way to run a business at all. And what you want to do as quickly as possible is try and bring in some support to help you from an admin perspective. Because if you're the one seeing the clients, doing the job, adverts, finding the people, being the person that's chasing for money, etc., you're just going to burn out really, really fast. The best way to do it now, and the number one thing I would look for, is to get an offshore VA as soon as possible. So the minute you've got a couple of clients under your belt, you've got consistency coming through, go offshore. Look for someone. For us, we do Philippines, Sri Lanka, South Africa. Get someone that can support you as quickly as possible and take some of the heavy lifting, take the stuff that isn't going to be making money off your plate as quickly as possible. Train them up on how to write a job ad, train them up on the CRM system, train them up on the tools that you're going to use to optimize and leverage yourself as quickly as possible. Because what you want to be doing is you want to be looking at optimization. Optimization is what's quickly going to make you a player in your niche, and it's going to mean that even when you're one person, you can still, particularly in a niche market, in a niche area, because even when you're a small business, the key thing that you want to get right in the early stages is you want to get automation and optimization nailed. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is that there's enough tools, systems out there for you to be playing in a far bigger field than what your size is. So I'll give you an example. We use reply.io as our email automation tool. We also have reply.io working on our LinkedIn. So anyone that we're reaching out to on email, they're also getting us reaching out on LinkedIn at the same time. It's optimized and it works in a systemized formula. So we're actually always reaching out to potential leads with stories, with something to say that make us us have a much greater capability of reaching out to people if we were just cold calling the whole time. Now, granted, some of these leads come through as, some of those reach outs come through as cold, but what we do is we produce content that makes it relevant to that particular audience. Now, I'll come on to the strategies that we implement on tools in a minute. But first things first, even when you're in a small business, you need to look at how you're going to optimize your time. So get yourself a VA, get someone that's going to be really buying your time back and allowing you to focus on nurturing the client relationships that you have. Okay. Then you look at how you can get systems in place that could reach out to the audience that you need to target. And that goes on to my next point. You've got to, well, after you've got your consistent group of clients in, or you've got your small group of consistently fee-paying clients in, you've got to map the market for how you're going to grow. What we've done is we've always got someone through offshore we've actually given them an idea of this is what our niche market looks like. These are the types of jobs that we fill. We've basically plug in like 5 or 6 different job titles. We give that to our individual in Bangladesh, and that person then maps out the market, what particular companies we could be going for, what job titles those people have, and then we do our best to try and activate how we can reach out to them through LinkedIn, and we also, that person gets their email addresses as well. So we've got that, we then have that information, that ammunition that we can go to market with our optimization tools with. And you can really do that as 2 people. So what types of messages do we send out to people? Well, when you're working on your own, when you're talking to people, you're taking in information all the time. And if you're working in your niche, there's probably lots of information that you're gathering there that you can then put into a simple email format that could produce content for you. And that's what you can reach out to individuals with. Okay, you can talk about the type of people that you place, you can talk about the success stories you've had, you can give some insights to what the market's doing, and those tools that you've invested in, like reply.io that I mentioned, that will be hitting out your potential clients, and then your VA can be dealing with all the replies that come through. She can then go back to you and send you through this is interested, these people have said they might want to have a meeting, these people have engaged with us, and then you can start to build relationships with people in that way. Okay, so using systems and tools very early on will give you a far bigger reach than you just banging the phones in an old-fashioned way. Now, hopefully you'll be doing that. Your sequences will be going out. You'll probably have to plug in 6 to 8 sequences. So 6 to 8 different stories you'll be sending people. You can create 6 to 8 different stories. If people are warm and come back and said, well, I'm not really recruiting right now, but I could be interested in talking to you later, you can actually send out a different message to them as well. You can track you can just keep nudging them, seeing if the time is right for them to hiring, talking about the relevant placements that you've been making, just updating people on what you've been doing. So you can have an email and a LinkedIn content going out to them and then you can continue to generate cold reach outs to potential customers as well within your niche area. That's on top of the fact that people are getting to know who you are. You're reaching out to candidates. Now, how you're reaching out to candidates is a very similar way to how you're reaching out to clients. So what you need to be doing, obviously, is mapping out your candidate market, getting your chap in Bangladesh now he knows who all your potential candidates could be. He can be reaching out to them saying, hey, we're ex-recruiter. We specialize in recruiting this market. We've got some great opportunities at the moment. We could be nudging them. They can come back and say they're interested, and your VA can help you start to pair everything up. Through your CRM system, through your cold outreach and client outreach, and through your cold candidate outreach, you can start to build this really powerful machine. Now, as that starts to circulate, I'm fast forwarding this just for the purposes of this video, but I could talk through this in more detail with people who are on our course. As that starts to progress, obviously, then you can start to build out your recruiters. And those recruiters are the people that can help nurture client relationships and that can talk to qualified candidates. Now, the qualified candidates are the people that your VA has helped you break down and understand who could be right for the role. Now, what you want to be doing, therefore, is expanding your business in a very controlled fashion. Because where I've seen a lot of businesses break down is where they've just tried, they've taken a punt on the market. They think something's going to go well and they just hire bums on seats. They just hire people because they think something's going to work out. And inevitably what happens is that becomes very chaotic. People lose money, and taking a punt is a really stressful experience to have as a business owner. I really, really, really advise no one to try and grow as quickly as possible. Try and grow as slowly as possible, okay? Instead of looking at when you can get someone in, look at how a VA could do someone's role, look at how a piece of AI can do the job for them. That way you can grow in a really controlled fashion, you can have peace of mind, you can make yourself a profitable business, and you can understand exactly take more time understanding your market and really nurture the client relationships that you've got. So just to be clear, you as the business business owner, you're doing well, you've got some traction coming through, you've hired your VA, you then look at tools that you can bring in. I've mentioned reply.io, another one to look at is clay.com. And these are outreach tools that you're going to be sending out to potential customers. Having mapped your market, you're going to be sending out, using those tools to outreach to potential customers, and then you're just going to be firing in at them on LinkedIn and on email. And eventually you're going to be getting responses. Trust me, you're going to have to throw some volume at it, but you're going to be getting responses. And your VA is going to be helping you handle all the admin for that. As you grow, maybe the businesses that you've started working with are giving you more and more business. You might need to get a delivery consultant in to help your VA. Now that delivery consultant, again, that's an offshore specialist. We have them in Sri Lanka and Philippines. And what they do is they're sourcing candidates all the time for you. So the VA can actually pass in some of the leads. Everything goes into the system, and that person is then working as your delivery consultant. So you've got someone supporting you on admin, you've got someone supporting you on delivery, and you've got your time being spent on nurturing client relationships. You've got to really focus on the client acquisition system first. Then once you've got the business coming through, then you can probably look at getting a delivery consultant that can start to do the mirror and matching. Of course, on top of that, and a key thing of getting attraction to your business is producing content all the time. Now, we've always emphasized that people need to promote themselves on LinkedIn, do a post a day, talk about what the market's doing, produce content. If you do that naturally, people are going to start gravitating towards you as well. People are going to start understanding you're an expert in that area. And that, flowed with everything else that you're doing, is going to really help drive lots of relevant attraction to your profile, okay? And if that's what you want, you just want more attraction brought over to your profile. So this is very much a LinkedIn play I'm talking through at the moment. I think it is really the most powerful tool that you can use. I use Instagram and various other tools now, more for attracting other entrepreneurs and business owners. I still think from a recruitment perspective, like that is the king tool. I think the other thing you can probably do is with the information that you're developing is you can go to the press and you can talk about some of the interesting facts that you've learned in your journey. Now, I did this very early on in Dubai. I went to a publication called Arabian Business. It was like the number one business magazine or business publisher, business online portal in the Middle East. And I was just giving them salary information. I was giving them information on the market. I was giving my opinions. I was just sharing thoughts, sharing stuff that I was sharing with my potential customers, with the emails that I was sending out. Also, just giving them market intel. And people are interested in market intel. Jobs tend to be stories that publications, newspapers, radio, etc., the media, it's what they're interested in, because jobs are a real good sign of where the economy is right now. The other thing you can do is also you can start to share trends that are coming across with the media. And the media is always interested in what trends you're seeing, if salaries going up, salaries going down, where you're seeing jobs going to, if there's talent going from one area to the other, there's a particular geography that's looking very popular. All this information is stuff that you can share, and it's really, really, really important. That's kind of what I'm going to talk about really from an attraction overview, from an attraction perspective, and how you can, in the very early stages, look to scale. So take your time, don't rush, look at systems and tools in outsourcing, and then grow in a really, really, really careful, methodical fashion, because if you try and rush it, you'll get super, super stressed. Now, on your dashboard, I think the key metrics that you really need to be paying attention to in the early days are the leads that you've got coming into your business. Absolutely, you've got to have a set amount of leads that are coming through. You really want, for us, it's a minimum of 5 to 10 leads, ideally 10. And then from that, you want to be going on at least 5 client meetings as an individual. These are new people that you're going to meet face to face. From that, hopefully you'll get the opportunity to do 3 or 4 pitches. And then if you pitch right, my pitch strike rate's pretty good, but I've been doing this for a long time. So let's even just say you get half of it. If you keep that consistently, you should still be picking up anywhere between 3 and 5 new clients a month. Those 3 and 5 new clients a month are obviously going to really make an impact. If your average fee is like $6,000 to $10,000, that's a significant amount of money you could be bringing into your business. And you will only get that if you're really, really consistent on the automation, on the reach out, and getting some VA who's going to support you on that. So you've got your leads that you've got coming into the business, track that. You've got your client face-to-face meetings you're doing. You've got the amount of proposals that you're sending out or terms that you're sending out on the back of that, like I've just said. You also need to track your first interviews. For me, it's always been like magic 5. I've always wanted 5 first interviews with 5 different clients. If I know I've got that, the ratio stack in our favor, that we're at least going to be getting 3 to 5 good placements coming through from that individual. And our average fee is around like $16,000. So, that can be a very successful employee if we get them following that metric. And then you want to be tracking your interviews to offers, and then offers to closing, to see, then you can get an idea of how your actual closing system's operating. So these are some of the things that I would implement in the early days. Those are some of the key metrics on your dashboard that I would track, and I'll happily talk through more of what I would do in the early stages in another video.